And now it is 3rd and 3 with 7:17 to go. The Keller cheerleaders imploring their offense to move the ball downfield. On 3rd down, Rogers comes to the left side. Quarterback keeper at the 40, at the 43. Run out of bounds at the 43 for a 9-yard pickup and first down for Keller. .7:02 to go. Keller driving. They're at their own 43-yard line. Rogers nailed, but he pitches back to Sanders, runs around the right side, and Rashad Hickman with the big hit. Holds him to a 1-yard pickup. If he turns the corner, he may be off to the races again, but Rashad Hickman kept forcing him wide and was able to catch up with him after the 1-yard pickup.
Watch it here. Rashad Hickman's going to say, fella, if you're going to get to the outside, you got to get through me. And it wasn't to be on that particular play as Hickman gets the best of him. And Rich brings up 2nd down and 10. No gain on first down.
Double wideouts on the left side for Keller. However, they'll stay on the ground and get across the 45 to the 47, and that will be Calvin. A gain of 4 on the play. It will bring up 3rd down and 6, and on the next snap, there'll be less than 6 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Ryder 17, Keller 7. A win tonight for Ryder. They'll move to 4-2 in district. They'll be tied with either Louisville or Halton because they are playing each other tonight at Louisville. At the 47-yard line, 3rd and 6. Rogers to the left side, throws, caught at the 47-yard line, and that will be close to a first down. The reception made by Joe Ramirez. And that's where they needed to get. They needed the 47-yard line, and they'll measure. They'll bring the chain gang across the field, and he will be very close to a first down. They'll stretch it out, and we'll know in a matter of seconds if the try for Keller stays alive, and I believe it does. First down, Indians. With 5 minutes and 42 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. 17-7, Ryder by 10. The senior quarterback, Craig Rogers, leads his team to the line. He's got Calvin in front of Sanders. And on 1st and 10 at the Ryder 47-yard line, Calvin gets the call across the 45 to the 43, and a nice tackle by Sean Perez. An ankle tackle saving a longer gain for Calvin. He does pick up 5. It will bring up 2nd and 5.
And Keller, Rich, just content to keep the football on the ground. They have the wind at their back, but as we mentioned earlier in this football game, not too well versed at throwing the football, so they have to depend on their ground game.
There'll be less than 5 minutes to play after this play. The pitch comes back to Sanders, running left side at the 40, 35, down to the 34. First down, Keller.
Kelly Long, number 71, a 6'2", 215-pound senior, led the way that time for Sanders.
Sean Perez on the tackle, but not before another first down for Keller with the wind here. Mackey, wide right. Seaton slots inside right. On 1st and 10 for Rogers. He gives to Calvin, and Calvin a yard, if that, to the 32-yard line. Jason Petrosh and Scott Saltzman in on the tackle. 2nd down 9. We come inside of 4.5 minutes to go to the football game. Carlton Scherer now splits out wide to the right side, and Seaton slots inside of him. Rogers rolls to the right side, has some blocking, now is being chased, will continue that way, and now will cut it back upfield and will get about 2 yards to the 30-yard line. Scott Saltzman in on the tackle, along with number 71, Alan Tremble.
Boy, he left a trail of black jerseys, didn't he? Jackson was down. He gets up limping. He left number 38 as well. Sean Perez, he's limping slightly. I tell you, Chad's hurt, and he's coming out. That'll cost a timeout, injury timeout.
We now have a whistle and an official's timeout.
Rich Allen,
timeout
number 71, is coming in for Jackson.
Timeout Ryder, with 3:42 to go, will take the timeout with them.
I'm going to go option left to the wide side. Because they've shown they don't want to run the football. So throw the ball. So.
Well, you know, they really can't throw the ball because the Ryder secondary and the linebackers have done great in coverage tonight. And once again, the crowd rises, imploring the defense to stop them. They stack the line on 4th and 2. Wishbone backfield movement on the line. And this may be offsides defense, and if it is, it's an automatic first down. Encroachment.
I'm just guessing. It looked like Ryder made contact, but maybe they did. That's what it's going to be.
Dead ball foul, offsides, defense. If we have it again, we may be able to see who the guilty party is.
Right there it is.
Someone whose uniform number ends in a 5, Matthew Blackman, I believe. So the ball moves to the 21-yard line. And 1st and 10. Rogers leads his team out, I formation, pitch back to Sanders, the ball is loose, and it's recovered by
Ryder. There's your muff, Mr. Siegel. That's the muff, not the fumble. Never had control.
The first turnover in the second half, and it comes at the most inopportune of times for Keller. The drive stalls. Ryder takes over at their own 21 with 3:22 to go. And now you will see Mundrell Lewis and Rashad Hickman with straight ahead running. Lewis up the middle. Lewis at the 30, at the 35, to the 38-yard line. 16 yards on the pickup for Mundrell Lewis.
That'd probably be 15 against Keller. A little extracurricular activity as you see the replay and the run right up the gut by Mundrell Lewis.
The referee has his microphone open so we can hear the discussion. This will be a dead ball foul, and it is a personal foul against the defense, so tack on 15 from the end of the play, and this will take the ball to the Keller 47.
Rich, I'd like to mention with 10 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the fourth quarter at Burke Burnett, Mike Walco just connected on a 75-yard scoring strike to Randy Gatewood. Now it's 14-7 Burke.
Important score. We'll tell you why after this. 1st and 10. Lewis again, the ball carrier, gets across the 45. If Northwest, Hershey, and Burke Burnett end in a tie, Burke Burnett would have had to have won this game that they're playing against Hershey tonight by more than 10. That touchdown reduces their lead to 7 and keeps Hershey alive. Boy, the way they figure these things out here in the UIL country is unbelievable. 3 yards on the last pickup, 2nd 7. Actually, it's 4 yards on the pickup, and we'll call it 2nd and 6 at the 43. Lewis again with the call, and he gets a yard to the 42. And the clock continues to run. There'll be less than 2 minutes to play when the next snap is taken. Keller has has 2 timeouts left. Ryder with the full complement of 3. And now we do come inside of 2 minutes to play. Ramon Flanagan taking as much time as he can. Hands to Lewis, and Lewis down to around the 37-yard line.
He's
a
close.
4-yard pickup. It will bring up 4th down and 1. And a very interesting call right now. It's automatic.
Yeah, you know they're going to go for it. They're up by 10. The clock's down to a minute 30 seconds.
And now we do have a timeout, and the timeout is taken by Keller. It is their second. They have 1 left.
Actually, 1:34 to go in the contest.
You know, you'd think they may have learned a lesson, the Keller defense, and my guess is that they may key on Rashad Hickman here, thinking that, okay, well, they think that we think that they're going to give the ball to Mondraw Lewis. However, let's see what happens on 4th down and 1 with 94 seconds to go.
But, Rich, that's one of the luxuries that Coach LeBlue has with that offense this year. You've got Lewis, you've got Hickman, you've got Flanagan's ability to scramble and get outside and pick up yardage. You've also got the ability by Flanagan to throw the football. Got some good receivers in Stoller and Carnine. So they give you a lot of different looks, Ryder does offensively. And when you start keying up on Mondrail Lewis, they can hurt you right up the gut with Rashad Hickman.
John Miller imploring the crowd on the sideline to get up, make some noise. He and Robin Pierce on 4th and 1. They stack the line.
That'll cost him.
And this is going to be against the Raiders. Reuben Covington, 77.
Yep. That'll cost him 5.
And bring the ball back to the 46. I beg your pardon, the 42. And that will certainly change the play. You don't see the movement. The movement was to the right of 65, Mac Norris. It was the tackle, Reuben Covington. So that will change things, and Craig Brown will come in to punt. And once again, the clock was moving before it should have been moving. There should be a minute 34 to go. It is 4th down and 6. The ball at the 42-yard line. They put 3 seconds back on the clock. That's exactly what it was during the dead ball penalty. A minute 34 to go. Craig Brown to punt. Back in single safety, Brian Kruger. Craig gets the ball in good shape, gets the kick away. It's a very short kick. It drops at the 26. Will take a Raider bounce to about the 22 or 3-yard line, and with 1:24 to go, trailing by 10, and with 1 timeout left, Keller will go to work. Donnie, check out the pressure on Craig Brown.
Pretty good effort. Number 25 for the Keller Indians, Seth Hall, a 6 foot, 185-pound sophomore, almost got a piece of that one.
Craig Rogers will bring the team out 1st and 10. 1 timeout left. His team trails by 10. He drops to throw, rolls to the right side, and will be thrown for a loss by Scott Saltzman. On what I believe is the 6th or 7th quarterback sack tonight.
6'2", 246. Just a junior, Rich. He's still growing. How many is that tonight? I know of at least 3, and that's possibly 4. Unassisted tackles for our designated hitter.
We are inside of a minute to play. 17-7 Ryder. On 2nd down and 16, Rogers rolls left. Will get the pass away, going long down the left side.
Got it! Oh, then he dropped it.
And then he dropped the ball. Joe Ramirez.
Oh, but what an effort.
Marvelous effort by the wide receiver.
That was a heck of a try by Ramirez. You don't believe it, watch it on the replay again. Rogers just launches this thing, airs it out. Watch the dive right there. Then loses it when he hits the ground.
He got behind Brian Lewis. Scott Avery came over from free safety.
Good camera work too, huh, Rich? Nice going, guys.
At the 23-yard line, beg your pardon, the 18-yard line. 3rd down, 16, 41 seconds to go. Rogers rolls to the left. Now we'll go back towards the middle. Under a rush, being chased by Bagby. Gets the pass away, incomplete. 4th down and 34 seconds to go. This will be it for Keller. They'll come to the line with 4th down and 16. The ball at the 18-yard line. Well, Mackey is going to punt. He gets the kick away. He pops it up. It will drop at the 46-yard line out of bounds, and Ryder will have to run one play, and barring a timeout being called, this game will be
history.
Over.
So you close the books on this one, turn out the lights. Ryder chalks up their 8th win of the year, no, 7th win of the year, and they'll improve their record to 7-2. Keller will fall to 2-7, and more importantly, Rich, Ryder will now improve to 4-2 in district play with that road game next week against Marcus
in the great city of Flower Mound.
Flower Mound.
At the 46-yard line, it'll be touch the knee down, and let's head to the locker room and pat ourselves on the back. Ramon Flanagan calling signals. Touch it down, and that's it. Clock will continue to run. They do not have to run another play. And the Ryder Raiders have come home tonight after 2 games on the road, and they have just played a very, very fine game. That defensively, their defensive stand tonight has just been phenomenal, and Keller inexplicably will take a timeout with 12 seconds to go. I'll tell you what, sometimes you just have to wonder about things like that.
Well, they just found out that their meal that they're supposed to eat on the way back to Keller's not quite ready, so they said call a timeout. Maybe by the time you get here, things will be ready to go.
So Flanagan will have to touch it down one more time, but getting back to my thought, defensively, the Raiders have been near perfect tonight, with the exception of letting Sanders get out to that 57-yard run. The defense has just been sparkling tonight. Offensively, fine game. Few turnovers, 3 turnovers, 5 total fumbles, 2 recovered by the opposition and the interception. Otherwise, the offense has played another fine game, and Mundrell, Lewis, Rashad Hickman, Ramon Flanagan, they all played well. The Ryder offensive line was sensational.
You know, this team continues to get better week after week after week, and that's exactly what you want to do. Keep improving, because just around the corner, Rich, is playoff time as the clock shows 0-0-0.
And what a nice ride home it will be tonight for the Raider faithful here in Wichita Falls. The final score, Ryder 17, Keller 7. Our player of the game and some final thoughts right after this. You're watching the high school football game of the week. You've had the best seat in the house. Hope you enjoyed it. 17-7 our final, and we'll be back right after this. Rich Siegel back with you at Memorial Stadium. The final score tonight, Ryder 17, Keller 7. Ryder scored in the first quarter on their second possession, a 17-yard run by Rashad Hickman. The point after by Craig Brown made it 7-0, and that's where we stood after the first quarter and at halftime. In the third quarter, Brown nailed a 42-yard field goal to make it 10-0. Early in the fourth quarter, 45 seconds into the fourth quarter, Chad Sanders on a 57-yard run around right end cut the lead to 10-7. However, Ramon Flanagan, with about 7 minutes to play, running to the right side, getting a key block from Brian Stoller, taking it in from 15 yards out, and that makes the final score Riders 17, Keller 7. Our player of the game tonight, Donnie and I have decided to go with defense. Mundrell Lewis played well, Rashad Hickman played well, Ramon Flanagan played well. Defensively, you could give it to just about anybody on defense. Scott Saltzman played a very fine game tonight. Our player of the game though, eligible for Player of the Week honors, is going to be number 51, Brian Bagby, who had, I believe, 3 or 4 quarterback sacks in the first half, and was just a bull on defense. And so Brian Bagby is now eligible for this week's Player of the Week award. We'll let you know next week who won between he and Mike Vaughn. The Player of the Week award is brought to you by Ballpark Sports and Awards, 4526 Fairway. Give Eddie Lavery a call at 696-3213 and say, Eddie, thank you for what you do for high school football in Wichita Falls and on WFTV. Ryder now improves to 4-2 in District 5-5A, 7-2 overall, and Ryder will be tied for second place with either Louisville or Haltom, pending the outcome of that game. Louisville and Haltom are playing each other, and also the outcome of a game tonight between Marcus and Sherman, a game being played in Sherman. So there will be a 3-way tie for second place, but the Raiders take a big, big step towards the playoffs, and next week will clinch a playoff spot if they defeat Marcus on the road. They've got to go down and play Marcus on the road, and a win next week in Marcus, at Marcus, will give the Raiders a playoff spot. Donnie, what do you have the latest from Burke Burnett and Hershey?
Well, the Huskies were driving, and guess what? Walco throws another interception.
14-7 still?
14-7 Hershey with about, 14-7 Burke with about 5 minutes to go.
So the Huskies still remain alive. They needed to lose that game if they were going to lose by less than 10 points to beat Burke Burnett in a tiebreaker. You see the gentlemen who have been responsible for tonight's game. Our thanks to director Ricky Cabell, his camera folks, and the rest of his crew. We hope you've enjoyed this game as much as we have enjoyed bringing it to you. It's a dandy ball game tonight, and there's your final score. Ryder 17, Keller 7. Our next game on WFTV will be next week. It will feature the Coyotes and the Huskies, and we have a football doubleheader for you, high school, college, as the Midwestern State University Indians will take on Hardin-Simmons. If you have watched this game on Monday night, tomorrow night you will see the replay of the Coyotes and Azle. And if you have watched this game on Thursday night, then our next game will be Sunday when the Coyotes take on the Huskies. For Donnie Lang and all of the WFTV crew, I'm Rich Siegel at Memorial Stadium. Thanks so very much for being with us tonight. The final score again, Ryder 17, Keller 7 from Memorial Stadium. This has been a WFTV Vista.